Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Ron?
I'm ready.
Ready to start?
You're normal.
Call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Okay, Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holkenbrink,
Yes.
and Clapp. I guess
Roy,
Yes.
there you go. Okay, now I need a motion to, what is the next motion? To approve the agenda, gotcha. I'll move that on that.
Second.
Okay, Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holkenbrink,
Yes.
Clapp. Can you hear me, Clapp?
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
Gotcha. Okay, motion, okay, next, need a motion to approve the
There's a
minute.
delay.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular county board meeting held on April 14th, 2020.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holkenbrink,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Clapp.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do we have any public comment? Seeing none?
Well, wait a minute, may take a minute.
Okay, we have a delay, we'll give you time for public comment, if there is any. Oh, okay.
I would like to say something.
Go ahead, Todd.
With all this small businesses being shut down and then not being able to generate any revenue, I would like to maybe have the county board, if they can prove that they were shut down, lost money or whatever, you know, like what they're doing with some of the state programs, then I'd like to abate their property tax.
Any business that is shut down?
We would have some type of form that they'd have to fill out.
Okay. Any other comments on that? Okay.
Rather than abatement, I would rather go ahead and levy the taxes and then have a rebate or something like that, because we found out the last abatement that we never could make up that money that we abated. And it just kept, you know, right now with the money that we abated, we would have about $300,000 to $400,000 more in the bank than what we have now.
It would be simpler to do a refund, you say? You think it'd be a simpler operation?
I think it'd be better for the county. I don't think it'd be simpler because it'd be unheard of. But I think it'd be better for the county because then we wouldn't be levying at a lower rate every year.
And once you set it, it stays that way.
Yeah, it stays that way.
I'd say get a list of what businesses those are and who lost what, and then we can kind of make a plan from there if it was significant enough.
Right, it's just
Then-
an idea.
then-
That's
yeah.
all I'm presenting
Yep.
is an idea.
I have no problem with helping them out because they definitely need it. But I do have a problem with the abatement.
Well, and like I said, it's just an idea, like you said, a refund or something is the same for me.
So in the near future, after maybe this virus deal is over, we may put out a notice, and then anybody wants to apply for it may get a list, and we know how many people are wanting to do. I'm interested in trying to help, and go from there, okay? Any other comments?
So what you're gonna do there is, since Bev wrote taxes to me today, I gotta go ahead, I can't put that in right now is on balancing, on like normal abatements. Because now is when I would do it before I print my tax bills. So you're gonna have to do CDs.
The tax bill is even set up because they didn't pay it in.
And what do you
Then
call
we
it?
refund it.
Okay.
We're talking about,
Haven't paid it in,
Oh,
and then,
wait.
Oh, I was talking about abatements.
yeah, we're not talking about that anymore.
Okay.
I just misspoke, I can see what he's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
But something that would help our small businesses in Cumberland County. That's my goal.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else out there got any public comment at this time?
I'd like to say something, if I could.
Dave Clark?
As you know, yesterday Clark County voted to open up, and Clay County's meeting tonight, doing away with Governor Pritzker's six-phase plan. There is a good plan out there. I've looked it over. I did not bring any copies with me. I should have. Dylan Willow, 107, has made up a plan between him and Darren Bailey, 109, Chris Miller, 110, which is us. And it's a good plan to look over, especially if the county's thinking about reopening.
Dave,
that the back to business plan?
Back to business plan, you know it. Exactly.
Dave, almost got it.
You've got it.
Yeah, I've looked at it online.
And you don't have copies, do you? Anyway, Rhonda's got a copy of it. It's back to business plan. It's got a three-phase plan here. And it's very sensible and a really decent idea. I know right now Cumberland County had 2 more positives today, so that brings us up to 6 for the county total. And don't know who they are or what they are, but 3 of those 6 have recovered. So,
4 of those 6 have recovered, right?
3.
3.
Oh, the 4th one.
The 4th one's still.
4th one was just found yesterday or
A
the
couple
day
days
before.
ago, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, anyway, Rhonda's got a copy of it, if you need copies of it.
I've got that.
How are you, Dave?
And that's all I've got to say.
Any other public comment? I hear none. Okay, any guests would like to speak at this time? I hear no guests speaking, so we shall carry on. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to reappoint Steve Layton as trustee on the Toledo Fire Protection District for a 3-year term. Steve has been on the trust, as a trustee. This is a reappointment, I assume.
I'll make it.
Made by Ron Black, second by
I'll say
Luke Barr.
Okay. Parr,
yes.
Harmon,
No.
Holkenbrink,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
No.
Clapp.
No.
4 noes, motion did not pass. Okay. Any other comment on it? Or we'll move on to the next order of business.
What was that motion?
Motion to appoint Steve, reappoint Steve Layton to the trustee of the Toledo Fire District, okay? Next order of business. Need a motion to reappoint Rex Lindley as the Commissioner of the Housing Authority for a 5-year term.
5-year, mine says 3.
She put a new one up, posted a new one Friday, and she was gonna send it to you. She must not have. It's a 5-year. If you look in your book,
It's been changed, it's actually 5 years, a mistake. It was a 3 in what she paid, but she's updated to a 5-year term.
if you look at what the Housing Authority sent us, it says to 2025.
2025. It's in your packet, so.
She would have emailed you up, correct?
Is that correct on the door?
I'm assuming she posted that on Friday as the correct one. That's when she was gonna do it.
So, this is the 5-year term.
I'll make a motion.
Todd Beard makes the motion. You have a second?
Second.
Kyle Harmon seconds it.
Okay. Harmon,
Yes.
Holkenbrink,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Clapp.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's pretty slow.
Motion carried.
Always has been.
Okay. Next, I need a motion to approve the resolution for the coroner's salary from December 1st, 2020 through November 30th, 2024. Anybody got a suggestion? My suggestion, make the salary a 1% increase each year for the next 4 years.
We made everyone else a minimum of two, and I think the sheriff, didn't we say that we'd go with whatever we could get?
The employees. Well, the coroner's salary.
What has been the elected officials?
Elected officials, I think, our treasurer and our county clerk was what? 0 the first year for the last 4 years. 0 the first year, 1% increase the second year, 1% increase the third year, and 2% increase the fourth year. That was for several of the officials, some were.
I say 1%.
Roy says 1% per year. Any other comments or suggestions?
What's the salary now?
Oh, 16,000 is it?
I think it's 16,873, just a second here. Yep, 16,873.
$16,873 is the current salary.
What's the average calls on it? Coroner, Cumberland County.
I really do
Only when
think that's
someone
like-
I make a motion for 1% for 4 years. Each for 4 years.
Roy makes the motion 1% for 4 years. Do we have a second?
That 1% each year?
Each year, 1% increase each year for 4 years.
What were you saying?
I think they do have quite a few calls.
Yeah, I think he does.
Probably there's some spurts.
And it wouldn't be fun,
Yeah,
it wouldn't be fun right now to be a coroner.
you know, because they have to go even if it's at a nursing home, on interstate.
But he's got deputies that work for him too. I mean, he's got, I think, what, 2 deputies that work under him?
Yeah, if he's
that
not in
Go out
town,
on calls.
if he's not gonna be within a 30-mile radius, he has to have someone else.
I don't have the budget from him, I don't know what his expense is for deputies
I think $100.
per call.
No, he pays them when they're on call. $100, I think.
Yeah, just if they're on call.
So if they do get called out, still $100?
Yes, if they get called out or not called out, they get $100. So if he's got a wedding out of town,
He was,
he's gotta have some.
You know, having another job, so I mean, if he's on his other job, he's gotta have somebody on call the whole time.
Well, he might not be.
Or he has a
30 miles.
flexible job, and,
Well, he's an ambulance driver, so I mean, if he's
yeah, if he's on
on,
an ambulance call,
I mean,
then he have to.
But they could bring another ambulance driver in too, as far as that goes.
I think that's what they do, because I don't think.
Yeah, I
he
think that's
puts
what they
someone
do.
on. I don't think he has someone on. And he's within his
well,
30
we do have a
miles.
motion, I think.
We got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
1%?
Each year for 4 years.
That's correct. 1% each year for 4 years.
I'll second it.
Second by Kyle Harmon.
Okay. Black,
No.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holcombrink,
Yes.
Clapp.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay. Next order of business. To approve the resolution setting the county board's salary from December 1, 2020 through November 30, 2022. That's for 2 years. Right now, the salary is what, $75 per meeting?
$75 a meeting and $500 for
County chairman gets $500
in a year.
per year. So that's what the salary is right now. Anybody wanna make that salary, that motion? Leave it that rate? Yes, Kyle Harmon makes the motion.
Sure.
I'll second it.
Second by Ron Black.
To leave the same, okay, Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holcombrink,
Yes.
Clap.
Yes.
First time I ran for this job, I didn't even know they got paid.
I didn't either.
Motion carried.
I didn't either. I was really surprised.
Next order of business. Discuss and take action on special service area. Have a contract for Julie Vipon.
Or Terry, I don't know who's talking.
Or Terry who, I don't care who wants to speak up. Have we got anything on our board here?
Yes, it's in the packet.
It's on
Or
the
no, it's
table.
up here, isn't it?
Special service areas.
That's just a cover sheet, the first page you have, and then the contract's behind it.
Okay, according to this contract, it's a one-year contract, I think. And it will be, the tax dollars county levy will be $58,632.35 for that tax year, for that year, for the life of that contract. So each year, I guess they will make a new contract and the levy will be a different number. Assumably it'll be a little higher each year, but I do not know that. So that's the contract for this year. Mhm. Julie, can you hear us? Terry?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Terry? Okay, Terry, hold
I
on.
can hear you.
Very good, very good. Any other comments you'd like to add? Do you feel comfortable with this
Pretty
contract?
self-explanatory.
Okay,
I think it's a good contract, looks like a good contract.
you got a good problem with it? Liability, that's good.
I reviewed it, I think it looks like a good contract.
Our state's attorney says it looks like a good contract, he's reviewed it. So, I would like to have a motion to approve this contract to be, well, to be taken to the ambulance, to the ambulance service so they can sign it also. I think that's what we're doing, yes. So, anybody want to make the motion to approve it?
I'll make it.
Ron Black makes the motion.
Well, I had a
I'll
question,
second
but
it.
I'm not able to find it.
Hold on just a minute.
Must not
I have a question.
If the county collects more than the amount that they've got on the contract, which is $58,632,
That's all the contract reads, so that's
so
all.
what will we have a fund then that will hold those funds?
Special service area should have their own fund, that money would get funneled into, so if they have a little bit extra, they would hold that in the special service area fund, and then they could use that next year, they could use it independently, you know, with your guys' advice and
We
consent.
could distribute, taxpayers.
Distribute to the taxpayers?
You could probably, you could give it back to special service areas, I don't think you'd give it to the taxpayers, overall. in Cumberland
Why didn't you
County.
put a wording in there or grade or amount?
I think a better idea would be just to abate a little
Collect
less, or
revenue.
levy a little
Well,
less
I
next
thought
year.
that was in there, that's what I was trying to find out.
It's always good to have a little extra sitting out there in case they need an independent auditor, something like that.
We know they're, you know, they're running in the hole.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you're better to be a little on the high side
Yeah.
than try to hit it right exactly.
Bingo.
And they go in and out. So they can get more money that year they come out.
So, like the treasurer just commented, let's say we had several people file bankruptcy and they didn't
Pay their
Yeah.
taxes.
pay, then who's gonna come up with the $58,000 in the contract, especially the first year?
Well, that's why you wanna make sure you levy enough.
That doesn't matter, I mean, if you don't collect it, they can't get it. You know?
Yeah, I know, that's why you wanna make sure you levy enough to cover that margin of error. But if you come up short, you either have to do an inter-fund borrowing, or make it up some other way through the general fund or something else.
So Ellen, this 58,000, have they already collected that yet, or have they not collected it yet?
No,
No.
that's collected once,
No.
you,
It'll be-
you haven't paid any taxes at all.
It'll be coming in July and August and September.
I just don't know why you wouldn't have a wording on there or amount collected, like what you collect.
Here on time of payment, it says the amount stated above at such times as money is dispersed. In the past, it was, just a minute. It was that amount or whichever was collected.
Yeah, that sounds more like what needs to be in there,
But then
because
if you
I never,
want
since
more,
I've
then you're
been.
gonna give them more?
Yes, because if you got someone, if you got people that are in bankruptcy or, C of Es, we do so many C of Es. So you could have, like, say Vapco had a building on there, and we did a C of E on it, and it was on for 100,000, you know? They're not gonna get that, because we do a C of E on it, a certificate of error. I'm trying to explain this. So as long as I've been in here, I've never seen anything done like that. Like what you collect is what you get. No one ever gets what they levy for.
But we're not talking about a government agency. The government agency is the,
Special service area.
special service area. Then they're contracting to a company, and the contract shows the 58,000. So you're not just gonna say, okay, you're a taxing body, what you levy is what you're getting, because we're not talking about the same thing.
Okay,
The
okay.
special service area will get what you get levy-wise. If it's more and above, then like you said, there's gonna be an account for that.
But the extra can be in an account that is controlled by the special service area committee. And so if it's over levied, like you're saying, then they could have a bank account that would be available to them. But if it's under levied this first year, the first year is gonna be the problem.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying now. I mean, that they have to,
Now, this is the
but I
contract.
don't know. Not mine.
So it's kinda like when Ben Bland works with like Hal Asphalt, for example. He just doesn't tell Hal Asphalt, hey, we'll just give you whatever we get from our taxes. He says, I'm the highway department, I'm gonna get such and such money. I wanna make sure I get enough that I can cover my bills, and then whatever extra I'll do within my, within the highway department. So that's the way I see it operating, rather than kinda like Todd said, hey, we're just gonna hand over to this independent business, whatever comes in. I think that's,
Yeah, we can't do that.
I think that's not a good way to deal with tax money. And I think it's a business too, it's just how do you operate, how do you budget if you don't know, if you're just getting whatever they make.
I guess if they were in the red this first year, then they're just gonna have to up their levy the following year to compensate the negative.
Right. Yeah, you always run that risk that just like a business that, contract somebody to put floors in, hope I can pay it, hey, I may not sell a car this year, and I'm gonna be in the red, but that's the way it goes. Nothing's guaranteed.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Did someone make the motion? No, we didn't.
Well, yes, we did. We had a motion by Ron, seconded by Luke, to approve the contract that was presented.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Okay, now we start discussing, that's right, Todd asked a question. Okay. Any more questions, discussion, before we vote?
Nope. Okay. Beard?
Yes.
Parr?
Yes.
Harmon?
Yes.
Falconbridge?
Yes.
Black?
Yes.
Clap.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next order of business. discuss and take action on the reopening of Cumberland County. Very interesting subject.
Yes, it is.
Somebody want to start? You got any, Roy Clapp, you got any suggestions of there's a proposal here for Cumberland County?
The plan I gave you guys and I sent everybody was from the Clark County, reopen plan. Jim Boland and I talked on the phone several times. So, I mean, I think it's a pretty easy, it's just more of a recommendation to tell, for the incorporated areas here in Cumberland County, hey, make sure we want you to open up, but make sure you do your research and make sure you know what you're doing before you actually open up. But I would like to just give them all a plan to start with.
I never did get that.
I sent it out twice, I know for sure, the first time, and I sent it out
I
before
know.
and I talked.
Yeah, I know you said, but boy, I sure haven't gotten it.
Okay,
That was one that was 7 pages long.
10.
And?
I'll make you a copy. Everybody got one?
I've got one. Hold on, we gotta make a copy here.
Without going over it, Now, is this the reopening plan? I guess if we're gonna call it reopening plan right now, is this reopening plan for the whole county or is it just
Yes,
for
unincorporated areas.
the unincorporated
And
areas?
the villages would have to, if they would have to develop their own or adopt this one to have them do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was gonna be my question. I didn't think that we could open for the incorporated areas. So it would just be everything outside of Greenup and Jewett and Toledo and Neoga.
Yep.
We got the cover letter here, right?
I don't know. I was just,
Have you got the rest of it, Kyle,
Yeah, on my phone.
on your phone? I think I've seen it too. I got it at home,
Yep, it's 10 pages long.
probably, several pages.
It's 10 pages.
So what is it?
I mean, it's like a 14-day step, and then a first phase, and then another 14th day, just a slow increase. But like I said, this is just a plan that for businesses in the incorporated area to look at and to make their own choices. And we're not telling them that they have to do this or that, they can do, they need to look it over themselves and see what they want to do. If they don't have to open, if they don't want to, but it gives them a chance to do open.
You got a comment, Brian, on this plan?
No, I've had discussions, I think, with independent board members, so unless there's any questions anybody has they want me to address, I don't have any comment.
Oh, he's got his,
What I put out?
yeah.
Yeah, I did put out an alternative, which just essentially says that the county is not going to take any negative acts towards any business or individual who acts in contravention of the governor's order. So it's really just saying, hey, look, you guys want to open a business, go ahead. County board, and I'll go on record, say the state's attorney, we're not gonna prosecute you, we're not gonna fine you, we're not gonna do anything to you, we're not gonna take your license. But all businesses need to look at other, we're not the only game in town. There are other agencies, there are licenses, there are insurance, insurance issues, liability
we've
issues.
got that right here.
That's why, what Roy said, you wanna be darn clear, every business, every person does their own research.
Yeah, and if we open, the way I read this a long time ago, or, well, just a little bit ago too, we will not have liability insurance if we vote to open.
Well, I think.
We, as a county, there's a good possibility that they will not pay for our liability insurance. Or they won't, if we have a liability claim, they won't pay, they won't pay it.
Or defend it.
What's that?
Or defend it.
Or defend it.
Which is really
But
where,
technically, we're just making recommendations, right?
No,
the way that
well, this one,
Well, the way that Roy's plan was, it tells you're only allowed so many people in church. That's not just, that's setting regulations just like
Yeah,
our
I don't want
government.
any regulations.
He's saying we're only allowed so many people in church. Our
But
government
those are
says-
also recommendations.
Well,
That's not saying you have to.
There's a
Those
lot
are
of,
recommendations.
there's a lot of word shall in there, put it that way.
I.
Shall is used several times.
Recommendations and you have to. I mean, it's totally up to you. I mean, they're not getting penalized, right? I mean,
And that's the way, if you read the letter from our insurer, it says if you recommend a less restrictive plan or endorse, I think that's the way it read, you've got it there in front of you, Brad, but,
You need it?
actually, I didn't bring my glasses, so I'd have to look at it on, blow it up. Yeah, the way I remember it,
They're not recommending,
enacts, adopts, affirms, or actively or implicitly promotes a reopening plan or set of reopening guidelines that may be in conflict with the governor's reopening plan. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys, I think if you endorse, suggest any other plan other than the governor's, and you get sued, our insurance company is gonna do what they can to cut us loose and say you're on your own.
That's why I like Brian's, we're not prohibiting, we're not really saying a whole lot, we will not enforce the governor's, is that what you're saying? We will not enforce the governor's plan. The county will not enforce the governor's plan. So
but
you kinda do what you want, that kinda,
Why don't you say that to,
So with that plan, anybody can open up whatever they want.
Well, I'm
Right.
a little confused on this one paragraph. It talks about, the Cumberland County Board hereby proclaims that the county board and all departments within the control of Cumberland County Board shall refrain from negatively affecting Cumberland County. But we are not in charge of our health department.
That's correct, and that's, I think that's the next
That's the
sentence.
big concern there for me, is what is our health department gonna do? Are they gonna yank license from some of these places trying to open up?
Well, the health
Is
department, like,
anybody here from the health department online?
Sherry, are you online, Sherry, from the health department?
the health department doesn't affect every business.
Sherry, I can't hear you if you are, I think you're on here, but I don't hear you.
Opening up restaurants and bars and all them, they are affected by the health department.
I
Yes.
see you're on there.
But
Can you
they,
hear me now?
Yes.
Now I hear you. Go ahead, Sherry, you got any comments on this?
Well, as a department, locally, we are still an agent of the Illinois Department of Public Health. So we're bound to follow the Department of Public Health directives and guidance, which includes complying with the governor's orders. So we cannot give an opinion on the resolution or ordinance that you're passing.
Okay,
and I'll still go back, my main concern is the liability. I contacted my insurance company today, and I said, this is, we're gonna do this. If I vote yes, what, will you still cover me, my insurance company? If I vote no, will you still cover me? And my insurance company says it's going, he said, I just talked to him about an hour ago, he said, I worked on it all day after that question. And he said that it will probably be done on a individual basis, each thing at a time. And that, it's such a new concept that nobody knows. They don't have any, they've never had this situation before, so the
the
insurance
governor's
company.
using every scare tactic you can right now.
and that's why I think it's liability wise, you're opening yourself up if you say, here's a plan, abide by it.
I agree.
As I've talked to several board
But
members.
then again, when is enough enough? I mean,
30
where do we
days.
draw the line? I mean, because
What are we talking about?
we're
Suing us
absolutely
for what?
destroying our economy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, I'm not saying don't open up, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, don't put out a plan.
this
Yeah,
plan,
Because if somebody puts out a plan and everybody follows it and bad things happen and then they sue you,
Right.
your insurance company's gonna say, good luck.
Bye-bye.
And you're probably gonna be fine.
Here's what's really sad. Okay, Indiana restaurants,
Yeah, absolutely.
stores are all open. So why are we wanting to lose our business, again, crush the small business owner here in Illinois?
Mhm.
Because they're all gonna go over there and start shopping, and they're all gonna go over there and start eating out.
All I'm
Oh,
looking,
yeah.
all I'm looking
Well,
at,
it's-
So
it's gonna get
my
worse.
question is, so we're gonna get sued, is what you're saying, if somebody gets test positive because we opened up. But, all the other counties around us may be open, Indiana's opening, which is 30 minutes away. How can they prove that they got it from Cumberland County and they're suing us for that?
There are a lot of hurdles for
So
a,
what are the two, I mean,
Well,
you're talking about a
Delay.
problem that,
yeah.
do they, they're proof of a problem?
In order for a plaintiff to sue the county, if you guys pass this, in order for a plaintiff to successfully sue you, there are so many hurdles they'd have to jump. First one, they would have to show that they got it from a business that opened under your plan. The next thing they would have to show is that they didn't get it anywhere else and that was the cause of it. So, yeah, I mean, the chances are slim. I'll,
And as I said, this is just a recommendation. I mean, even the church thing is, it's not saying that people can't go. It says that you can, I'll even read it to you right now. It says just wants people 6 feet away and have to check their temperatures. It doesn't limit any people that's going to be there. This says avoid contact between attendees and don't do the things like that. But you do try to continue virtual worship just as a recommendation. So I mean, these are all recommendations that just to support, to help businesses and churches and everybody else to open up and have, at some point you gotta learn to live with this. There's no vaccine, so we're gonna have to learn to live with how to do this.
that's why I say you don't split a plan out, you let the business.
Let's go with our Brian's plan here and not make a plan, and then they can open up tomorrow or next week, whenever they feel like it.
they would be able to open up under
I
their own
don't agree with
liability.
wide
and
open
everything.
on everything.
Why don't you want it wide open? I'd wide open
I think you
everything.
still gotta limit the number of people that are gonna go there, because we're still gonna see numbers, our increases in numbers are gonna go up. I mean,
Yeah.
just because we're testing.
I've been
more.
confused
You're
by
gonna see
this
the
whole
numbers, the more
thing
people
the
you have,
whole
it's
time.
gonna even get more people, so you still limit for a while.
So you still want to
Because-
limit them?
Because realistically, if
I mean, we're just,
What we do
50%
here-
is not,
it really shouldn't have any
Not that
impact.
bad.
I mean,
None.
because we're not we don't have the enforcement
What's the
to,
authority?
I did get,
the authority to enforce this.
right.
So, I don't understand, all we're doing is giving recommendations.
these are guidelines.
They can do as they're gonna do. We already said, there's no authority enforcing it, so.
So why do it?
Why do that?
So I do it, yeah.
I like this resolution.
I mean, it's
Well, the
a
resolution
guideline
is
at
like
least.
the resolution is
It's
like
showing
the-
people that, hey,
no,
Because there's gonna be those people
that are gonna
do
sanctuary county
Put up
resolution.
with this crap
Second
anymore.
Exactly, I know.
It's just
They'll
saying,
maybe make a plan, that it maybe, they'll show it. I mean, we're all voting on it here. Several counties around us are voting it today and tomorrow.
Yeah, but Roy, if we do with Robinson's plan here, it does the same thing, just tell them that, Governor, we're not gonna enforce his plan, we're just gonna ignore it. I think that's what we're saying.
So, my
I like
question
the-
is, if the sheriff's department says that he's not gonna enforce it and do anything about it, what can we do about that?
Nothing.
nothing.
Alright,
You can't do anything about any of this, in fact.
I don't
mean,
know.
Right.
all you're
that's what
doing
I'm saying, that it's open, it basically is open, wide open right now in this county.
Well, let's just.
Yeah, the county's,
Yeah, it's already open, right?
Here's how I explain it.
Because
No,
he's
we
not
have-
enforcing it,
we have,
or the county, or the
The
sheriff.
health department's got them shut down, they were pull license from,
Yeah, from like
Restaurant.
the,
yeah,
restaurant.
now, they've got it,
Right.
Rick
You've got-
has got it shut, it's not wide open now, and it won't be open then unless, but the county board will not be liable for anything, 'cause we're not backing the governor's plan, we're not.
So if we did or set out these recommendations, vote on and vote yes, the health department, I know they said they're not gonna give opinions and such, but will they revoke licenses or not?
the
They
only,
have to, if it's a violation of the
Yeah,
Illinois
yeah,
Department of Health, they will have
they'd be
to.
shut down and
So we're we can't push the health department very far.
Just have everybody can open up tomorrow.
Well, you actually have no authority to tell them they can't.
no, anybody can open up.
Yes, that's
It's-
what I'm
it's their
saying, Roy.
liability, and
You give them a guideline to help them out.
Why? They're smart enough to do what they want.
that puts
We
us,
don't need a
that
guideline.
puts us at.
Then we're like Mr. Pritchard, we're giving them guidelines, and we don't wanna give guidelines. We want out of
You're
this.
not putting your neck up there.
So no, I wanna go.
I think it's time for us to stand and set an example.
Lloyd,
Yes.
Terry, can you hear me?
I hear ya.
The plan that Dave Clark spoke about earlier that Representative Bailey had worked on with the Southern Health Department administrators, it has been presented to the Department of Public Health and to the governor's office. It's a fast track plan. It's probably the same one that Clark County was looking at. And if the governor will approve that, that would be much better to come back at a special meeting and approve and adopt that plan with the governor's blessing, and then it wouldn't put the businesses at risk of losing their license.
You could even do something kind of like Effingham did and put in
If we
there,
vote to open,
we asked the governor
we
to
are
pass
doing an
the.
illegal, we're doing an illegal.
I think, Sherry, they're gonna discuss this Friday, maybe have an answer by Friday on this plan that Sherry just talked about. If I hear right, I'm not.
She
I
said
like-
like Friday there's gonna be an answer on that?
They're gonna present, somebody may make a court may make a decision on Friday, maybe.
I like
Unless
the
it's
second,
in-house.
I like the second paragraph of this thing where it says, if we do it only to present a reopening plan to the governor, then, you know, you can vote on it,
Well, I mean,
send the plan to the governor and see if he okays it.
I mean, that's kind of what's in this resolution too, it says that we're requesting the governor to cease and further action.
Exactly, I like the resolution.
Now, before I go any, just to clarify, Bailey made that lawsuit, he won the lawsuit. Pritzker tried appealing it, and he lost the appeal, is that correct? That's what it.
No.
No, not
He
yet.
didn't lose
He,
the
he
appeal?
tried to appeal directly to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court denied to get involved until he followed the proper channels.
Gotcha, okay.
So it still goes through the appellate court, which will then, if I understand correctly, go back down to the circuit court, back up to the appellate, and then up to the Supreme.
Okay.
Depending on how the appellate court rules.
The way I understand, they're gonna kick it down to have it reworded. As of the last time I heard Bailey talk.
Bailey is trying to get it down back
Yes.
into the circuit level, yeah. But the appellate court, if they affirm, it can go straight up to the Supreme Court, unless Bailey brings it back for an amendment.
That's gonna take months, but
Yeah.
then this whole thing will be over.
Well, we hope.
That's just for his.
So they're talking about cancel school next year.
So, okay, which one we gonna vote on, folks?
If we would go with this one, do we put an exhibit with it of our recommendations, or do we just do this?
I wouldn't put any,
Yeah,
No
that's what, the one that I drafted has no recommendations,
Okay.
and that's the idea,
Okay.
is we're not,
Okay, let's adopt one without without any
I move we do Brian's
version of that.
plan right there.
I think they've got copies, I've got a hard copy somewhere.
If people want to open, they can open.
This is it,
Mm-hmm.
is this yours? I think. Well, will anybody make a motion to pass this resolution? We can
I
talk.
make it.
Ron Bite made the motion.
Can I ask a question to the public?
Okay.
Am I allowed to do that? To the public, not the board.
Yeah.
These guys over here.
Oh, go ahead.
What's your guys' thought? I'd like to hear your opinion.
My thoughts, I've said many times, the governor never had the authority to close the businesses in the first place. The health department had the authority, but they can only close them for 48 hours without a court order. Once they get a court order, then the court has intervened and stayed the closure. Being that's never been done, there's no groundwork even set forward to close a business.
Right, which is the whole play on the whole world, everybody's reopening the county. If you don't believe the governor's executive orders are valid, they're not closed in the first place. There's no reopening a county that's already open.
Well, the part of the county that we can open, it is the rural area, and there's one bar, and,
Yeah, well, when
you
you
know,
say.
we're gonna open one bar.
That'll be a,
That's why the resolution.
be a
Two
busy-
bars.
Two
Strip
bars,
joint.
two bars.
Forget about strip joint.
that'll be a busy bar.
You wanna know.
I've never been there.
So,
Actually, there's, the Sportsman's Club, the Bikini Bar, and the Roadhouse.
yeah,
Three
yeah,
bars, three
bars.
Three alcohol establishments, okay, I'm sure.
three alcohol establishments. And they're under our jurisdiction, but they're also under
We've got
the
a
state of
we've got
Illinois.
a tattoo booth, out there in the country too. Sherry, you got that one right.
Are you doing tattoos now out there?
Freelance.
Yes, we do have that tattoo facility. She's also a beautician.
Yeah.
Well, you still want to pass this resolution? We got Ron made the motion.
Well, having their
Yeah.
opening, I mean, I
It does not say opening.
It does not say
didn't
opening.
think I
They're all open.
across that.
As far as our website, they're open already.
It's saying,
Yes.
it's saying, and, you know, if we say that you can open, or the town says you can open, the people that are opening are still opening illegally,
To the
because,
state.
for the state.
They'll have to talk to the insurance company before they do anything.
They have to talk to the insurance company, they have to find out whether they're going to have their licenses pulled. You know, there's quite a little bit.
Yeah, so I keep saying, we're not the only game in town.
That's why if we say we're gonna open, it's a liability problem.
Well, I didn't have anybody call
Yeah,
me
February
today
1st.
and say they wanted to keep it closed.
Well, I didn't either.
No, I've had just the opposite. They wanna open.
So this one
But
that
they
you're
can
doing where
open.
Brian says
One
that they
open.
can, that we're just not accepting the executive order. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, well,
Basically.
what it says is essentially that, let's see here.
'Cause I'm reading it right now, I'm just trying to figure out.
Proclaims that the county board and all departments in their control will refrain from negatively affecting Cumberland County citizens and business for failing or refusing to adhere to the governor's executive orders. So if somebody out there opens up their business and doesn't adhere to the governor's orders, what we're telling them is, as a county board, we're not gonna come in and yank the Roadhouse's liquor license for it. Doesn't mean the state's not going to, and that's why we gotta be careful with this opening, is we tell them, hey, you're open, and they open up and they get their state liquor license pulled, they're gonna come back and say, Kyle, you told us we were open. Why are we now losing our liquor license? Why did you tell us that? You're gonna say, well, I don't control your liquor license. And that's what this says, is we're not gonna do anything.
And
But our health department is.
Our health department, and that's what it says in there, health department retains all their rights and powers, because we can't pull those are, legislative.
And I can see, I'll just use two different hairdressers. One hairdresser decides she's not gonna open, the other one decides she is gonna open. And we're not doing anything, but there's nothing to keep that hairdresser that's losing money from making a quick telephone call to the state of Illinois and saying, hey, guess what? This person's open, and all of a sudden, that license is jerked.
Yeah, we don't want to get in the middle of this.
We don't,
Let's keep our, let's just pass a resolution to say everything goes, I guess, or whatever it says, whatever.
What we're saying is, we're not gonna do anything to you.
that's what we said with the guns, so.
Right?
Brian, what you're saying is you are declaring as a board that the businesses may stay open or close however they feel they want to do.
Correct. They can do whatever they want, and in whatever they do, we're not gonna go
Yeah.
do anything to them.
But they need to make sure that they're, you know.
That's on
legal,
them.
They have,
There will be no penalty from the county level.
right,
Yeah, we're not gonna fine you, we're not gonna jail you, we're not gonna pull your license. Do whatever you want, you're a free person in a free country.
With the state, you want to do anything.
Yeah, state,
yeah, the state
They do
can
whatever
still,
they
We have no
the state,
control over
and,
the state.
you know, even if we'd have passed, they could have done anything, so.
Right.
So,
But some way,
Okay,
that's gonna
second
have
one
to
is-
be in there, isn't it?
what's that?
That's gonna have to be in there somewhere, isn't it?
What's that?
That the state can do what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it says in there that, you need to check with your license and your insurance liability.
So I think I did.
And it also says too, or any other agencies that we don't control, which is pretty much every damn agency out there. I mean, that's the thing is about, these counties, we've got really so little control. We've got, 3 businesses out there, and they've all got liquor licenses through the state of Illinois.
4, because we got a tattoo parlor.
Tattoo parlor, and I'm sure they're licensed through the state of Illinois as well, so, what we're doing here is just essentially just the same thing as the second sanctuary county is saying, just a shot across the bow to Pritzker, who today said he's gonna withhold funds from anybody that passes a resolution against him, so.
And there was a Pennsylvania governor said exactly the same thing, that if if you pass a resolution.
Brian, this is Sherry. I think those 3 establishments also have gaming license.
Yeah, good point too.
Yeah,
And I don't know for sure, I mean, I'm just shooting from the hip, but my guess is those gaming licenses and liquor licenses, we pulling those licenses so fast, those businesses' heads will spin. And that's why I'm very hesitant to tell them in any shape or fashion, open up, you've got our blessing. Because
and the other thing.
as soon as they open up, the state's gonna be all over them.
The other thing that I worry about, and you may say no, Pritzker won't do it, but withhold motor fuel tax.
Oh, I know. Stop paying his
withhold-
wage.
Withhold the extra money
Take
for
them more
him.
every year anyway, right?
So, you know, if they withhold a bunch of money from us, it's gonna be a lot worse than the $50-some thousand of the special service area.
I mean, you have to make a lot of cuts.
I'm not cutting anymore.
Can I get a second on this motion? I've got a motion on the floor, correct?
So what's the
I
motion
just
on?
don't feel like this does anything at all.
Why are we sticking our neck down into that much?
Well, it does say that, I think it says some things that I like, but
I don't think this one will
At the
keep
end of
us.
the day, we're doing, I don't know if we're actually accomplishing anything.
Right, exactly.
Probably not.
I mean, are
So
we?
why stick your
Is
neck
this accomplishing
down?
anything?
What do you want to accomplish?
None of these
What
resolutions
do you want to
accomplish
accomplish?
anything.
Well, I know what I'm thinking, I want to happen.
You can't do that.
You're
You
correct.
cannot
That's why
do
I'm
that.
saying that. Like, what is this
You can't, you
accomplishing?
can't do what you want to do.
okay, you got one motion, no one seconded it, so is it dead?
Well, if it's dead,
I
I'm
want to hear
moving on.
his motion.
So if you sign that,
Say what you want to say.
would he hold funds
Yeah, you want
against us?
What's that?
If you sign that one, will he hold?
Who knows with this governor? I haven't,
All we're doing, Kyle, with this one is giving the
I
businesses
know what
that are
it's
out there,
I
is
mean-
is an assurance that.
I know what
we-
this
It's
one's
okay
doing,
for
and I
his
know
wife to go to Florida,
everybody
but she
I know,
needs to
I
stay
get
home.
Roy also
I
thinks this is
get it.
good.
Nothing.
But I'm saying, if we're really not doing anything, do you want to sign it
Well,
and
you
put our
can't-
neck
you don't
out
have the
there?
power to-
well, that's a good question, that's a good
I mean, I
question.
want
I mean, to
people in
maybe
the county
not
to
get
know our
40 or 50,000
stance,
this
for
month.
sure.
I don't know.
and I hope they see this, but at the end of the day, we can't really do anything.
So what did the other counties do? Did they sign their paper?
Tonight, a lot of them's board meetings tonight.
Clark County, did they sign their paper?
It's tonight.
So
Thought it was the
What
other
about-
day.
I thought Clark County did
Clark
theirs on
County
the
did
porch,
theirs like
or
Friday.
front steps on Friday.
What the media's reporting is reopened, Madison County.
I thought Roy said it was
Maybe.
Yeah, Madison
Clay
did.
County.
But I don't know what their resolution looks like, because the media is always saying reopen.
Madison's the same as Clark County.
Did-
Is
did
Is
Clark
that
County
what they
go-
ultimately passed?
or have
Bill?
They had it about
Clark County was like Friday, Thursday
Yeah.
or Friday.
3 or 4 days
Did they
ago.
pass theirs?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah,
They passed that?
but the health
Yes.
department has to approve, has to adopt it, and the chance of that happening is kind of slim. So they really didn't pass nothing either.
On the Cumberland County website, people were a little unhappy because they said, you know, it was just a political move because we can't, or a lot of people can't open because of liability insurance, just the things we're saying, because of the licenses, et cetera. That they really can't open because it's still illegal.
And I'm just trying to figure out if either one of these two, like I said, we put in the motion and they would pass. Again, they're giving recommendations or guidelines, but we're not enforcing nothing. I mean,
Well,
it's-
then,
You can't.
we're not doing anything.
if everybody's in agreement that we're not gonna do anything, I'll remove the motion.
I mean, I wish we had more power in our hand to do something.
I would like to show that we are reopening in town. That's what I'd like to see.
What's that, Roy?
I want something that shows that we are reopened, that we did. I mean, well, I know we can't force them or this recommendation, but I want to show that to the governor and show that we are reopening something.
You wanna show that to the governor and put it in his face, basically?
Yeah.
I got it right here. I can walk over to his freaking place.
But isn't that admitting that he had the power to close it in the first place?
You hear that, Roy?
I heard that.
Okay.
And according to the lawyer's first letter, you know, that'll depend upon what the Supreme Court says. Because with this second letter, it gives all kinds of different portions of the, maybe this, is this the first letter or the second letter?
This is
I read
May
this,
12th, look at the date on it, May 12th on the front. May 12th is
May
the one
12th.
we got today.
okay, if you look on the back page of this letter, it says that, and I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. The authority of the governor to issue executive orders is primarily based in the Illinois Constitution and sections 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.8, 7.9, 7.12 of the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, Illinois Act 20 ILS 3305, and that's IEMA.
Yeah, Illinois Emergency Medical Management
Yeah.
Act.
Yeah. And the only thing that, and if you go down a little bit farther, it says there are several immunities that, under Illinois Tort Immunity Act 75 ILCH 10-1 through 101, a sequence, and the Constitution defenses may apply. And that's a may apply, not shall apply.
I guess my question
What,
is,
on what terms did Bailey
I have,
lawsuit on exactly? Do you,
The main portion of it was the, over the 30 days.
30 days.
over the
yeah.
30 days?
And that's what, me and Aaron talked about that today, that's what the judge really cited when he came down, that it only applies to Pritzker as of now. But yeah, it's mainly based on the fact that the governor's orders only last 30 days.
And those are up.
So, yeah. Is that April 9th?
So does he have any authority?
Well, it's going to court until it goes to court, so we gotta wait till it goes to court, then we'll have a clear picture.
I guess if someone wants to open it up, then if they get sued or whatever, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll wait on the court system now, Kyle, and that might be,
Like you, Kyle, I wish I was a little higher up the chain, I could just
Oh,
make that decision
yeah,
for everybody, but I'm not.
Enough people did it.
Oh, sure.
I don't think he wouldn't stand a chance.
The Constitution only says 30 days.
Well, yeah, the
you're supposed to
statute,
run to the legislature. after
statute says
30
30 days. What the Attorney General is arguing is that every day there's a disaster, starts that 30-day clock over.
So we get 2 new cases, now the 30-day clock starts over.
So essentially, it's
So
just.
you're saying you can claim an executive order after after every single case?
That's what the Attorney General's argument is, yes.
Does it say that word for word in there?
No, what it says is once he proclaims a disaster, he has the ability to, how's it worded? He has the ability to enact executive orders for a period of 30 days. So it doesn't really say from what, and that's where the courts are gonna come in and interpret it. The Attorney General is gonna argue that every day that there's a disaster, he gets 30 days from that date. So yeah, essentially, theoretically.
every new case is a disaster.
Yeah.
And what's the definition of disaster?
We increased 50%.
I don't know what the definition of it is, but it is in the, I wanna say the IMA, there's a definition of disaster, but it's pretty loose and the governor, so essentially what could happen is the governor can just become king. Every day he gets up, wakes up, claims a disaster, executive orders away, and you don't need a legislature, you don't need a judge, you don't need anybody but the governor. Yeah, I know, and I personally disagree with the Attorney General on that, but I'm not wearing a black robe, so.
Maybe the president will do an emergency declaration of some kind and stay in another 4 years without an election.
Yeah.
And I think that's why there's some people a long time ago that devised this whole checks and balances thing.
Well, if I'm not gonna get a second, I'm gonna move on.
Do you want to just table that until the next meeting, and maybe something will come up?
Yeah, here's what it says, Kyle, I actually have it up. The governor shall have and may exercise for a period not to exceed 30 days the following emergency powers. So that's the way it's worded, it's kind of vague. It doesn't say 30 days from when, but it just says not to exceed 30 days. So my thing is I think you got a 30 days and you go outside of it, you're exceeding 30 days.
And if you actually read the powers he's granted, he doesn't have half of the authority he's done,
Right, he's,
or over half.
yep, that's that's my take too.
So we got the funds to sue him too?
We got a state's attorney that works for us.
Yeah, he's gonna go after about 500 attorneys up
already
at the
paid.
Attorney General's office. Sick of Brian.
I'll be right on it.
I think I called him a few weeks ago about doing that.
Yeah, we talked about it. And yeah, that's one of those where those big offices up in DuPage and stuff can sometimes, get going on that. You can ride their coattails, but I haven't heard any whispers from Cumberland, or even any state's attorneys, suing the governor on behalf of their counties. Probably because there's no way to show a loss. I mean, if we could sue the governor every time a bad law came down that we didn't like, it'd be a lawsuit a day, probably.
Just one?
Just, yeah, an hour.
An hour.
You know, we lost residents, we lost our tax base,
Well, do we have, what Clark County passed?
Yeah.
That's
Rhonda
the
has
10
it.
page that I had on my
Clark passed that.
phone, and they passed it.
Which, there again, doesn't mean.
It doesn't, but it
But it's
also
a statement.
shows that we are
It's
trying
more
to
of a
work for
statement
our
than- Yeah.
people.
But are we willing to lose insurance? Are we willing to lose state
Well, you're only
funding?
gonna lose insurance if they're getting sued on that particular item.
Are we willing to lose state funding? As a board, are we willing to give money away?
Well, then we'd have to sue him.
That'd be discriminating against us and not another county.
No.
If they
Not
took-
necessarily.
Well, if they didn't pay our state attorney and paid others, that'd be a conflict.
We have, we're the second state that possibly have said that, because I was listening to news yesterday and Pennsylvania, the governor there said, I will not send money to the states that, or to the counties that have said they're gonna open.
Somebody
Against
want
my
to
order.
take this motion for next meeting?
I will make a motion that we pass the, what they are called, that Clark County just passed with resolution 2.
with the recommendations.
Yeah.
Cumberland County Return to Work recommended guidelines. And there's
That's the one that Roy's put, because what,
That's my motion.
Roy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the one that you're putting forward is essentially the Clark County resolution with just a few modifications?
It is exactly Clark County's.
Okay.
It's exactly like I got from the Clark County Board.
I made the motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion, we have a second.
All right, Park,
Wait, hold on, which one we voting on here? Cause I can't.
Yours, Roy.
Yours, Roy, yes.
okay, just a minute.
Just a minute.
Okay, Park,
No.
Harmon,
Yes.
Falconbray,
No,
Black,
No.
Beard,
Yes.
Clap.
Yes.
3-3, motion did not carry, right?
Yep.
Motion did not carry. Okay, we'll move on to the next order of business. Okay, next order of business. Bev Howard, what do you got? County clerk, tax redemption, something?
Yep, that's, all I have is, I need a motion to approve the county clerk and tax redemption reports for April 2020.
Luke, your motion.
Second.
Ron seconds it.
Okay. Harmon,
Yes.
Falconbray,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Clap.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Joellen,
I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for April 2020.
I'll make a motion.
Luke makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Kyle makes the second.
Falconbray,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
I was reading, so which one are you on?
the treasurer's report.
Treasurer.
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Clap.
Yes.
And the only other thing I have to say is they've rolled to me today, so hopefully by the end of the week, I have the taxes balanced. Printing tax bills next week, hopefully they'll be out by the end of the month,
Got a question on that?
yes.
And it may be from, I should do McKinsey, but, there's a lot of people, some elderly that weren't able to maybe go in and turn in their,
She's extending that, I think, for a long time.
is she? Okay.
Yes.
I was
So-
wanting to make sure that
Yes.
that happened because,
Yeah,
there's a lot of older people couldn't come in or didn't want to come in or whatever, so.
yeah, so tell them not to worry about it, she's extending that for a
Okay.
long period of time, so.
Did you find anything else out on that house?
The Coconar,
Yeah.
I think the guy backed out.
Right, that's the email that I got, I'm sorry, I was gonna update you guys on that. I got an email back from Fred Roth, the attorney for the bankruptcy estate, and what he indicated was that the neighbors to the Coconut house said, if you buy this and don't sell it back to us or somebody, something to that effect, we're not gonna be very good neighbors, so the guy was like, well.
Did you have somebody else contact you about the property?
Mm-mm,
You haven't?
mm-mm.
Do you have the information on how to get in contact with how they would go about purchasing that property?
No, they would just have to call Fred Roth, I don't have anything in it, they have to go
Because
through
it's in banks right now.
the bankruptcy,
Right.
so they gotta go through the bankruptcy attorney.
Okay. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I have it in my office,
Okay.
so if anyone needs it,
I will need that.
okay.
That all, John?
Yes, that's all I have.
All right. Ben Bland, are you on with us?
Some dog is.
I don't hear Ben Bland. So I'm gonna do a motion to approve the highway bills for April in the amount of $103,807.01. Okay, Ben? No objections from Ben. Somebody will make that motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Kyle makes the motion, Luke seconds the motion.
Okay, Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Abstain.
Farr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Falconbridge,
Yes.
Cluck.
Yes.
Okay, Ben, that's all I got for Ben Bland. Sherry Droder, do you have anything else?
I will keep the board posted on Representative Bailey's, plan. And as soon as we hear something, if it's approved, then perhaps you could call a special board meeting to, adopt that plan. As far as today, our count, we have 6 positive, 3 recovered with, 3 in isolation, 129 confirmed negative, and 3 are in quarantine until May 20th.
Can I read my
And,
proclamation now?
Polk County had an outbreak in their nursing home, so we are getting some residents that are being tested as they are workers in that nursing home.
I have a
That's all
question,
we have.
I have a question for you. What are your hours of business right now?
We are here all day. If someone needs to come in, they call us, and depending on the service they need, then they can come in for shots. WIC is curbside service. They call us and we take the vouchers out, and everything else is by appointment.
Well, I'm sure you've got caller ID. I called numerous times throughout the day, tried to get a hold of different departments throughout the day. No response, no answer at all.
We do not have caller ID, and we only have 2 phone lines, so if, today, if you called today, we were quite busy with our 2 new cases, contacting their direct contacts.
It was not today, it was a few days ago, and like I said, I went to several different departments, and it went through, so obviously the phone wasn't busy, but I'm just wondering if
Well, we
if you
didn't have
guys are
any
available.
messages. If that happens again, please leave a message.
In this type of situation, if it's such a disaster, you would think you'd have somebody there to answer the phone.
What day was it, Todd?
I'd have to look at my phone.
Because we're here normal hours, 8 to 5.
been probably Friday or probably
Friday, we're closed on Friday.
Well, generally when I call and you guys are closed, your answer machine answers differently.
I can't speak for what message you heard, but you're always welcome to call my cell, because I know you have it.
I tried that.
And, leave a
And
message.
I tried that, but I must not have the right cell phone number, because the gentleman that answered said that I had the wrong number. All righty,
That all, Bud?
yep.
Okay, Sherry, we'll call for right now. Anything else, Sherry, I should say?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, thank you. Rhonda Wilson, you have something?
Just to report the update, the cleanup over at above the sheriff's department is done as far as organizing. There's still a lot of work to be done to protect, and some of the cases can be destroyed, so I will have to be moving forward to request the destruction of the old cases that can be destroyed. I do have before and after pictures if anybody wants to see those. It was suggested that we get some of those things done, and we have. And kudos to the sheriff as well, because he's been up there working. And a special thanks to Jim Morgan for being the muscle to get all of that stuff down out of there once we got it piled up as to what could be incinerated. So thanks to Jim too. So that's something that was accomplished that needed to be done.
Did you guys ever utilize those cabinets I donated?
We're hoping to not have to utilize those. I'm hoping to destroy. I've been
Because at the time you
researching.
said you had to have them immediately.
Well, we needed to get them up
That
off
was
the
2
floor.
years ago.
I know. We need
Probably
to get
never
them up
even got
off the
put
floor.
up.
I'm not sure if they've been utilized by someone else, but I was able to put mine in filing cabinets because we had water damage to the ones that I was the most concerned about. So shelving wouldn't necessarily protect it, but we needed to get them done and up off the floor. So during the shutdown, we've gotten that accomplished.
Okay, Rhonda, thank you. Mackenzie Easton, are you on? Mackenzie?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mackenzie.
Okay, great. I just need a motion to reappoint Johnny St. John to the Board of Review for a 2-year term.
A 2-year term. Okay, Mackenzie, we'll see if we can get a motion to that effect. Somebody make that motion?
I'll make it.
Luke made the motion, second by,
That was Todd.
I'm
I'll
sorry, Todd
second.
made it. I'm sorry.
Luke made the second.
Luke made the second, my mistake.
Okay, Beard,
Yes.
Farr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Wolkenbrink,
Yes?
Black,
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Next, anything else, Mackenzie?
No, I just wanted to speak, I know Ron had asked about the senior exemptions. Everyone that we've talked to, we've had a lot of phone calls. Basically, we're just telling everyone if you want to go ahead and fill it out on your own and mail it in, or put it in the drop box outside, and then if you would rather, if you want to wait till the shelter in place is lifted, then they're more than welcome to come in and fill it out then. So we are running without a deadline at this point for those people, so.
Okay, thanks, Mackenzie.
Yep, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Mackenzie, thank you. Steve Maroon, are you on board?
Yes, I am.
Whatever, see what you got. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
I received a phone call today from the person about their medical leave. The news that I got from him was not good. He's going to require extra time and extra therapy. I told him that I would ask for another extension, understanding that he may not get it. So I guess I'll make a motion to ask the board to extend this employee's leave of absence for another 5 weeks.
Another 5 weeks, okay?
Is he being paid anyway?
If he is not through the county, he'd be paid through maybe IMRF.
So he is getting IMRF money.
Yes, you can get short-term disability through IMRF.
Okay.
Now,
What do you think, guys?
So he's getting medical leave through IMRF, he's getting paid through IMRF. And do we even have to extend it if he's getting paid through IMRF?
Well, he is on the insurance plan, and if he is not an employee, then he cannot
Be on the
continue on
insurance, okay.
that plan. He can go Cobra if he wants. That would be the main thing.
I'm against extending it.
You are against extending it?
Yep.
Okay, I heard you right. Anybody wanna
I
make
feel like
it?
it's been sufficient time to, it's gonna be putting a burden on the other workers too, for this long period of time. I feel like we were gracious enough on the last meeting, I don't know,
We don't know what's wrong with him, or?
yeah, the shoulder, yeah. Last meeting, we made an extension
Yes, we do.
to this one, so.
Then, nobody wants to make an extension?
So do we need to make a motion to not extend, Brian? Do you know?
Yeah, that's how I would do it. I would say, either that or just make a motion to extend and then.
Vote on it?
And vote on it, yeah.
I'd say, yeah, make a motion to deny make a motion to deny the extension, and then that way everybody can vote in the affirmative.
I make a motion to deny the extension.
Roy Clapp makes the motion. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Kyle Harmon.
Parr?
Yes.
Harmon?
Make sure this is right here.
To deny the
denying it.
extension.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, wait a minute.
Were you guys
Okay.
asleep here?
Okay, yes,
So yes for you?
yes.
Okay, Holcomb,
Yes.
Black,
No.
Beard,
Yes.
Clapp.
Yes.
Motion carried. We denied the extension. Okay, Steve?
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
All right, Steve, thank you.
I have something. Hey, Steve?
Yeah, go ahead.
You haven't had people that have been taking off or anything like that, giving them days off because of this COVID virus, have you?
Yes, our secretary.
The what?
Our secretary?
Oh, the secretary?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking that everybody there was, working and no one taking time off, and I was wondering about giving a little bit of a stipend to the people that had to work, all the time and wasn't taking time off and getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. If we could work something out like that, I would be behind that 100%.
Well, we don't have it on the agenda right now. I just want to bring it up to the board to think about it for next month, but, you really weren't able to, from what I understand, you really weren't able to shut anybody down very much.
No, we can't shut any of my departments down because we're a 24-hour service.
Except the secretary.
Correct.
Was there one other one that took some time off, and did he take time off? Maybe I ought to talk to you about that one.
Okay.
Take time off, personal leave or whatever.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little later.
Okay, but, so, board, I'd like to give a small stipend to say we appreciate, everybody being on board most of the time.
Okay.
And just think about it until next week or next month if you would.
Okay. All right. Any other comments? That's all, Steve? Thanks.
Yeah, that's all, thank you.
All right, Steve. All right, go ahead. Okay. Brian, nothing, Jonathan Braden, are you out there? Any comments from Jonathan Braden? I'll take that as a no.
I don't think he's on.
Okay. Steve Sherwood, any comments from Steve? Are you out there maybe? Maybe, probably not. Hearing nothing, I will assume not. Joe Vogt, would you happen to be out there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Joe.
The only thing I've got to send is last month's report. Supplies from the state stockpile are still coming in, and I'm still distributing to first responder agencies throughout the county.
Okay. Very good.
Can we ask a question of the FEMA?
Just a minute, Joe. We may have a question for you. Go ahead, Rhonda.
I'm keeping track of the notices and the extra postage and the extra envelopes that I'm having to order for repeatedly sending out hundreds of notices. Is that something that I can submit? And who do I submit that to?
Rhonda Wilson wants to know if she could be reimbursed for some of the extra notices she has been sending out because of this virus, and would FEMA have a possibility of reimbursing that her? I think is what she wants to say.
Yes, as the county-wide, all agencies throughout the county, I've sent in the application for FEMA reimbursement. County-wide, we are eligible up to 60% of our total expenses due to COVID-19. We have to have a minimum of $3,300 to receive any reimbursement back.
And that includes, that would include what the sheriff's department.
With Diane, with the health department expenses, and everybody else's additional expenses have one as a county-wide instead of individually.
So we would get $3,300 fairly easily.
You should be able to hit the 3,300, yes, very easy.
Anything else, Rhonda, you want to know?
No, I just wanted, I'm still keeping track of it. I just didn't know if that was something that I
Rhonda's
should
keeping
be
track
doing.
of it. She may be in touch here someday. Okay? Any other questions? Rhonda, good enough?
No, thank you.
Okay, Joe, I think that's all we have.
Okay.
Thank you, Fowler. Donna Olmsted, would you be out there?
Yep, and I don't have anything, thank you.
Okay, Donna, thank you. Mark Howard, you out there? Mark's probably not out there. That's all right. Okay, we're ready to move on to paying bills, okay? Need a motion to ratify payment of manual bills of April in the amount of $20,601.53.
I'll make it.
I'll second
Okay, Harmon,
Yes.
Falconbridge,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Motion carried. A motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $75,136.31.
I'll make the motion.
Luke makes the motion,
Second.
second by Kyle.
Falconbridge,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
And now I need a motion to approve payroll number 8 in the amount of $74,400.96.
I'll make it.
Second.
Ron Black makes the motion, second by Luke.
Okay, Black,
Yeah.
Beard,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Falconbridge,
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Okay, now I need a motion to approve payroll number 9 in the amount of $75,853.89.
I'll make it.
Luke makes the motion,
Second.
second by Kyle.
Beard, Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Wolfenbring,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Before we adjourn, I got a little announcement I'd like to see what the county board would like to say about this. Well, I should have brought up earlier about this coronavirus. My comment is the Cumberland County Board encourages all county citizens to get more exercise, sunshine, and fresh air to improve our immune systems. This simple action can help us all fight COVID-19 in this county. Anybody agree with that?
That's from you.
That's from me.
Can you say it again?
Can I do it again?
Yes,
Please do.
yes,
You do it live.
I do.
Hold on, I'll do it again. The Cumberland County Board encourages all county citizens to get more exercise, sunshine, and fresh air to improve our immune systems. This simple action can help us all fight COVID-19 in this county.
I have no problem with it.
Can you disagree with
Well, I mean, that can mean, let's get 50 people together and sit by a campfire.
Roll in the dirt, get some minerals.
that? Sit by a campfire, that's exercise?
No, I mean, you get what I'm saying, 50 people.
You walk
in a
to the
group
campfire.
together. I mean, it might not be the smartest thing to say right now, but I agree, fresh air, like shutting down the state parks and all that.
Well, the
that was
point I'm
done.
trying to make is
Yeah.
Governor Pritzker says,
Once
stay
we
at
come out
home.
of this, our immune systems are gonna be so weak that we're gonna be exposed to
That's the
everything.
reason
I
Pritzker's
agree with
wrong.
you. I agree
He
with you.
feels all the people stay home, their immune system goes down every week.
You could add something like social distancing in that, and it'd be, to keep everybody out, go out and walk, but stay 6 feet apart.
Do so safely and responsibly.
There you go.
Yes.
Do so
There you go.
safely and responsibly. Yes.
I assume
I
they do
agree.
But now you're putting regulations on people.
Well, no.
Yeah, you are, you tell them to do it safe and responsible. You're putting regulations on
Get
people.
outside safe. Just use your head.
I agree, Mr. Attorney.
I agree.
Okay, now we need a motion.
I know, I got one thing. One more thing that I wanna bring up. Isn't about, if we're thinking about even doing the Bailey plan or Roy's plan eventually or whatever, shouldn't we be the leaders of the group and bring the employees back that we've allowed to be on furlough and stuff like this?
So you're saying if we're going to adopt a different plan, we should adhere to that plan within our county government?
Yeah, yeah.
After we adopt it.
Well, yeah, but we could be proactive and bring everybody back to work, right?
Well, how many people's not
Next
working?
week.
Fair amount.
That is so many days or.
I'm governed by the Supreme Court rule, and we had to decrease the number, so we are rotating.
You have to. It was just a thought, because if we're gonna say everybody else needs to go back, I think that we should be the leaders.
We will be going back, though. I mean, if the court opens up, I mean, I don't see how that's going to affect, it won't affect the courthouse.
Right.
Because if it's gonna open up come June, it's gonna open up regardless. So we do have just a few more weeks, but
It's gonna be interesting in June in the courthouse.
July and August and September.
Well, I just think that, Pritzker says you gotta stay 6 feet apart, and the court says let the jury trials begin.
This was just something I was thinking about the other day. You can think about it.
Yeah.
Anything else? I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second?
Rick makes the motion, Ron seconded it.
All right. Carr,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Wolfenbring,
Yes.
Black,
Yep.
Beard,
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.